Good morning. I'm Stampin' Dee, and this is Stampin' Thursday, and I'm glad you're here with me. I hope that you will enjoy learning how to make this window card today. And I don't know why sometimes the screen is closer and other times it's not. I don't understand that. So we're just going to go with this and hope that it works out. All right. So it just started thundering here. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if maybe we're fixing to have a storm. Hopefully the electricity doesn't go out. But if it does, I will come back with this same video later in the day. So just be watching for it. So these are the window cards. And they stand up like this. Which, when your person receives the window card and is able to display it and enjoy it, I just think that makes it even more special. And of course, you can't see it front on when they're standing up, but everything is visible. So I'll set them back down. And I want to let you know that all three of these, in fact, the one I'm going to make today, are all using the gallery. Let's see, it's called Beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper. This paper is gorgeous, and it, every time Stampin' Up! Comes out with a new scenic designer series paper, I just fall in love with them because I love the scenic papers. But I hesitate to use them on just anything I want to really display the scene. So these do that. Now you do have to cut a hole in the middle so it does cut out part of it. But here is these are found on page 55. And here is your Beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper. And the one we're going to use today is this one. So I had to end up cutting out the water portion of it. But you can see this one uses this particular paper. And this one, oh no, the one we're using today is this one, but this one uses this paper. And like I said, I had to cut out a major portion of the water, but you can still see the water on both sides. And that's why I thought the duckling, and these, I believe they were on the last chance. They may still be there, I'm not sure. But that's what I used on that one. And then this one, I used this paper right here. So you can see how they really display the beautiful paper. Now, like I said, the one we're going to make today, we're going to use this one right here. I'll get it up a little closer. We're going to use this one. The back side of these are all really interesting as well. So, if you haven't taken a look at this paper, open to page 55 in your catalog and take a look at it and see what you think. All right. Let me grab my trimmer, and we're going to use Misty Moonlight. And like I said, we're going to use this paper right here. Isn't it beautiful? These muted blues and grays, and then some mossy meadow around the edge show the greenery. So this is what we're going to use. If you're watching, let me know. Say hi. Tell me where you're from. If you're watching, I'd love to know that you're here with me. And if you're watching this replay, thank you for doing that. I hope you'll make one of these window cards. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you, YouTube followers. Please click share and add it to your Facebook page or to a friend's Facebook page so that they can see it too. And subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll always know when I'm going to post a video. I post one every Thursday for Stampin' Thursday, so you'll know when it's coming out. All right. I'm going to set that aside. I want to show you the fold for this. This is the fold, and it looks really hard, but it's not. It's not at all. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our 11 by 4 1/4 on our trimmer. So this paper is 11 inches long, and I can show you that by opening it up. It's 11 inches, and then we need 4 1/4. So we're going to go 11 by 4 1/4 and give it a cut. And then we're going to start our scoring. Our first score is at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to start it right here at 1/2 inch. It's the long line in between the 0 and the 1. So 1/2 inch, and get rid of my cutting blade and score. And then we're going to score at 1 inch right here, right on the 1 inch. Then we're going to score at 4 1/2 inches. And at 5 inches. And we're going to need to open up our blade, our extended arm, 5 inches, and then we're going to do 5 1/2 inches, which is right here. And then we're going to do 6 inches, which is right here. And 6 1/2 inches, which is just past the hinge. 6 1/2 is right there. 10 inches. And 10 1/2 inches. And that is our scoring. That is all of our scoring. And all of these scoring measurements, cutting measurements, will be on my blog, Stampindedesspot.blogspot.com. They'll end up on the blog sometime this afternoon. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is take this, and this fold right here is the 1/2. It's half of our paper. So it's our 5 1/2 inch score. So we're going to get that folded, and we're going to open it back up. And when I fold on a score line, I either fold in a mountain, and this would be the mountain. You see how the ridge is at the top, or it'll be a valley fold, and that will be the ridge at the bottom. So this is a mountain, this is a valley, this is a valley, that fold, and this fold is a mountain fold, and that's our center. And then we're going to do another mountain. We're going to start over again. Mountain, valley, valley, mountain. And that's how our fold is going to go. So let's do that. We're going to start with mountain. We've got our center fold already. Now we're going to start, and this is going to be a mountain. So we're going to do it just like that. And the best thing to do, of course, is to come along and burnish it Give it a good burnish. So there's our mountain, and then we're going to go valley. So there's our valley, and I'm going to burnish that. Turn it back over, and then we've got another valley. It's mountain, valley, valley, mountain. So we've got another valley here. There's a valley fold. And then we have a mountain right here. So we've got our center fold, but we have a mountain, valley, valley, mountain. And then we have our center. Now we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have a mountain, valley. When you think of it that way, I think it just makes it so easy. So there's our center, mountain, valley, valley. We want that to be a valley. And then the last fold is a mountain again. All right. So let's look at the whole thing. So we folded it in half first. Folded it in half. Open it up. And then we do a mountain, valley, valley, mountain. There's our center. Mountain, valley, valley, mountain. And when we put this card together, folding it right there on the center fold, when we finish it up, it's going to look like that. So that's when you know you've folded it right, if it fits together like this, which is how these are put together. But we've got some other things to do to it first. All right, so we're going to set that aside, because now we're going to get our designer series paper ready. And the first cut for the designer series paper is 3 3/8 by 4 1/4. So the 4 1/4 is going to go this way. The 3 3/8 is this piece right here. 4 1/4 by 3 3/8. Now's when you have to decide, okay, well, what do I want to show? And what is going to be cut out of the middle. Let me get my trimmer again. So I really want to take some of the clouds off. So my 4 1/4, I'm going to do it here. That's going to leave this showing. 4 1/4. So I'm going to do that and set that aside. All right, now my 3 3/8. So I want my two end pieces, these two pieces right here. Here's your 4 1/4 by 3 3/8. These pieces are 3/8 by 4 1/4. 4 1/4 by 3/8 of an inch. But I want them to flow. This one didn't matter so much, but this one did. I wanted my paper, my scene, to flow, to be this off of the same end. So I'm going to, I want this, this part will be cut out, but we'll still be able to see the trees and some of the water. So I'm going to make my first cut, and this is more than 3/8, so I don't have to worry about not having enough. Yeah, put my first cut right there. Now, I want it to be 3 3/8. So here is 3 and 1, 2, 3/8. 4/8 would be a half. So it's right before the 3/8. All right. Now I'm going to keep this right over here, because these are the pieces that are going to be my ends. They're going to be this and this. And they are 3/8 of an inch long. So this one I'm going to do one, it's one right before the 4/8, right before the half. So I'm going to cut this one. Keep that piece. This is going to go right here. And then this one I want at 3/8, and it's right before the half. This is the 16th, and the 1/8 is right there. Put this over here as a scrap, and this one is going to go right here. So you see, the paper just flows. All right, we're ready to attach these to our base. So let's do that now. So the first one is going to go right here. So let me I'm going to use my Tombow glue for this. Hopefully it's going to come out. I'm going to have to poke it with my pen. Where's my pen? I don't think that's the right one. No. Let me grab a straight pen. All right. This is a smaller pen head. But I don't want my little point to go in. So I've got to hold it now. All right. Now I should be able to get some glue out. Yeah, there it comes. Just needs to be helped a little bit. Now I need to make sure that I've got it going the right way, and then I'm going to put it right here. It will go from top edge to bottom edge, and in the center, okay. And then I can put my big piece right here. Get my, all right. Top to bottom and right in the center. And then my next piece, make sure it's fits the scenery, and get my glue. Top to bottom. And in the center. There we go. Oh, wait. Wrong piece. Right, it goes here. It goes in the first one. Or the last one. Wow, I almost messed that up. Almost did. You know, I'm not going to get through this without making a mistake. You know that, right? So I'm going to get my eraser and erase what glue I can. And then another good way to use your embossing buddy is to come along there, and it just covers up, covers the sticky of the glue. All right, here we go. There's the front of our card. Isn't that pretty? But we are going to have to cut a hole out of the center And I'm using one of my stylish, the next to the largest stylish shape circle. And I'm going to do it, right in the center. You could put it anywhere, but I'm going to put it right in the center. And I'm just going to run this through really quickly and not bring it over there. It's just to make it easier. Run it through. And get my circle cut out. Now, I save my circles. And I'm going to figure out something fun to do with my circles. But I do save them. They've got the little edge around it. And it's got the prettiest part, really, of the scenery. There we go. So, I just set them aside. And when I figure out what to do, what I'm going to do with them, I'll let you know. All right. So now we need a piece for the inside. And this piece is going to be 3 1/4 by 4. So let me get my cutter. Now you could use white. You could use very vanilla. Oh, you know what? I went ahead. I cut it ahead of time. I cut this piece to be 3 1/4. Here's 1/4. So I cut it at 3 1/4 by 4. You're really supposed to cut 2. So I did cut 2, but I decided to use a label die just to make it more interesting, because this is going to go on the back for you to write a message on. You'll see that one, that one. I just decided to do something different. All right, so this is going to go right here. And we're going to go ahead. Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. Before I glue it in, I'm going to use, I've cut out some embellishments. I just went ahead and did that using the Gallery Blooms dies. And I cut them out of, this is Cloud Cover. It's one of our new in colors. Cloud Cover. So I used Cloud Cover and Misty Moonlight for these embellishments. And they're going to go on the front. And I didn't know how I would use them. So I might put that one like there. And then maybe one over it. And maybe put this one down here. But I thought I would use the stamp. Where? There it is. And this one, this little stamp is from Thoughtful Expressions, which is retired now. And you could use any. In fact, you could use the Gallery Blooms die. I just wanted a small stem. So that's what I'm going to use in here. And I'm going to use Misty Moonlight ink. Just to give it a little bit of interest. Okay. I'm going to put one of them right here. Right down here. And the other one, I'm going to put right here. Right there. Right in the center. And then I'm going to close this. Oh, you can only see part of that. trying to decide. I might, well, let's see what it looks like with the sentiment. So, sending healing thoughts your way. Make sure I've got it. And I'm going to put that right here. Sending healing thoughts your way. So what I may do is stamp another little flower, maybe right up the side here. Let's see. So that it could be seen. But I don't want to get over my letters. Maybe right there. And maybe even come up here with a stamped off one. Yeah. And even off here with a stamped off one. There we go. That's better. That's better. So you can see your sentiment and a little bit of the flowers on each side. All right. So we're ready now to glue this down. And I like to use tear and tape because I want it to stay. So I'm going to put my tear and tape. The first side, I'm going to put it right here. Put it right there. Tear it off. Then I'm probably going to have to use take a pick tool to get it up. Yeah, and fold that down. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my tear and tape right here. And tear it off. And then get this down. Now, I'm going to put this one together. And I'm going to put this one together. And you can just fold it flat and put them together. Now we're ready for that. Now we're ready to decorate the front. And you can do whatever you want on the front. They can overlap. When you mail it, it's going to go down like this. And it's just a regular A2 size card. So if I do that and put that right there, I could do this then. And maybe put that right over it. Yeah. I like that. Okay. I have to think through this. So I'll put some glue. I don't want to put it too close to the edge because I don't want it to get on my card. There we go. There. And then this I'm going to put right here. Right there. This one is going to go right here. So I can go right down the middle with my glue. Right there. And this little piece is going to go right there. All right. I think that's all we need. What do you think? I haven't looked to see. Hi, Kay. Good morning. All right, I think we've got enough embellishments. There we go. That is our window card. And if you want to keep your folds going, just, do that. All right, there we go. Sending healing thoughts your way. So, there we have it. You're in my thoughts today. Hope you're feeling better soon. Now, I didn't do this. Let's see. I do have some cloud cover ribbon. And I could put some ribbon. I don't know that it needs it, though. I really don't. This one, it looked really good. And this one, this is cloud cover and Secret Sea ribbon. And I thought that looked really good. I'm not sure. I know it doesn't need it inside like this one did. This could be a good card for a guy. And if you don't put ribbon on it, then it kind of stays that way. I think I'm going to leave it like that. All right. So here we have our cards. Let me get my pen and my embellishments out of the way. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't put this on the back. And this is just for you to write on. And we could put, let's see, put that right there. I should have stamped it before I put it on here, and then put one of these flowers. Put a flower right there. There we go. So that gives you room to sign just a little bit and put a sweet little message. All right, there we have it. Easy. They're easy, really. You just need to remember the mountain, valley, valley, mountain, and your score lines, and all of that will be on my blog later this afternoon. All of the score measurements, the cutting measurements will all be there. So I hope you'll scoot over there later this afternoon after I've had time to get them on, and check that out and make one of these. I want you to be sure and make one. I think once you do a couple of them, you'll find it so easy. And I keep this little piece so that I'm reminded about my folds. And I just keep it in my box with my templates. All right. If you have any questions, be sure and put it in the comments. I'll get back to you, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. It's still rumbling thunder out there, but fortunately, we managed to keep our internet and to keep our power. And so we've had a lot of rain lately, a lot of rain, which is good. Everything is blooming and green, and it's very good. All right. Have a great rest of your week and weekend. Thank you again for watching. And be sure and tune in next Thursday for Stampin' Thursday. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.